Yesterday, it for me was symbolic because it kind of brings 360 a journey that where I'm able to now be a citizen in a country where my basic human rights will always and forever be upheld, and I don't have to think that I'm going to be killed because of my sexual orientation. I can't celebrate calling Jamaica home anymore.
Give me an example of when you loved being a boy first. Like, I don't know, like how... I don't know if I do love being transgender. I love being myself. Being transgender is kind of incidental. I went through this weird phase where I was still presenting as male sometimes and then gradually trying to construct an outfit that I could be comfortable in. And when I first started doing that, I had just broken up with my boyfriend and I didn't have somewhere to live. So when I did finally find somewhere to live, I was terrified of my landlady finding out because I didn't know how she would respond or anything. And then one day she just said to me, she's like, I know who you are. My grandson's gay. You look good as a girl. And then she gave me like a bunch of her old clothes that she'd worn in the 80s because she knew they were like sort of retro style, and it was nice to get to that point and just feel welcome in my own home. Trans rights are just as important now as they always have been. It's just now we're finally getting some attention. So we need to keep the momentum going and actually make stuff happen.
The impact that I see is when I'm approached by youth and they tell me that the things that I've said really resonate with them, or people are really able to identify with things that I say. That really gives me something as well. It makes me feel like I am making a difference, and that's what I wanted to do. Working with EGAL has really opened my eyes to the needs that there are out there. It's not just about legalizing marriage or protecting against discrimination. It's about actually accepting and creating an openness for everyone. Not only is there this thriving gay community in Toronto, but in many parts across the country, there are communities that are working extremely hard to fight the same fight that EGAL is working towards. There's more needed to be done than just creating legislation to protect people who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, and trans. It needs to be a societal shift, and people's values and attitudes need to change. This involves everybody. It's not just LGBT people working with LGBT people. We need to work with everybody.
I used to dread going to school every day. Like on the bus there, I would get made fun of the whole bus ride to school, then I would get made fun of all day at school, then at recess, then on the bus ride home, and then sometimes kids would follow me home and like make fun of me on the way home. So it was kind of like, there's no way to get away from it. They would ask me, like, are you gay? I'm 9, 10 years old. Kids' lives are ruined by this. It's not that it's just kids being kids or anything like that. The anger and the pain that I felt as a kid is something that has absolutely followed me into adulthood. I wish that I didn't have to move away from my family and the suburbs and where I grew up to a specific part of the downtown neighborhood just to get away from this culture of hatred. If we were taught in school about Stonewall the same way we were taught about Rosa Parks, then people young and old could understand that LGBT rights are human rights.
It's about respect. Respect for our teammates, respect for our fans, and respect for our game.
It doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. On this team, we're a family.
Racist, sexist, and homophobic language have no place on our team.
We pledge to make our locker room a safe place for everyone.
No matter your race, religion, or whether you are straight or gay, if you can play, you can play.
Hi, I'm Jane Lynch.
I'm Tim Gunn.
We're Tegan and Sarah.
I'm Jason Collins.
I'm Laverne Cox.
And this is how it got better.
I remember I had a journal, and after I wrote this in the journal, I threw it out. I wrote, I am gay. No one can ever know this.
In sports culture, being gay can be so stressful.
I was very feminine from like my whole life.
It's fun to challenge people's misconceptions about what it is to be gay.
When you have something that you love and are passionate about, explore it.
We realized now we can be both a pop band and we can be a political band. We were like, let's make some change. Like, I want to see this stuff before I'm dead.
Telling the truth to myself about myself is awesome.
It will get better in a bit.
We're Tegan and Sarah, and this is how it got better. We grew up in Calgary, which is in the province of Alberta, which is in the country of Canada. The sort of perception of Calgary is that it's a bit more right-leaning or conservative. We were really, really boyish as little kids. I mean, we cut our hair off to look like our dad. I think people either assumed we would grow out of that or that we were just boys. They would pay us to dress in dresses when we would do family photos. And so I think we always knew that we were tomboys. And we liked calling each other brother, and we liked playing with boys' toys. Even though we knew we were different, we were okay with it. But I can remember the transition from like age 11 to 12, from gender and, you know, being different to like knowing that there was something like about my girlfriends that I liked more than I liked about my boyfriends. I remember really clearly it starting the summer before 7th grade. We spent a lot of time at my aunt and uncle's neighborhood pool, and that was when I remember suddenly girls looked different to me. And there was a particular group of girls who made me feel really afraid. I was really tortured, and I also really internalized what I was going through right away, because middle school was when we started doing the locker room and changing, and I felt like I was in the wrong place. We were teenagers in the 1990s, and that would have been when our own identity politics started to take shape. Anita Franco was really popular at that time, and it was a big deal that she was identifying as bisexual. Well, Mom loved Melissa Etheridge, and we knew she was gay. I remember when Katie Lang and Cindy Crawford were on the cover of Vanity Fair. It just really resonated with me. I remember thinking that Katie Lang was kind of like my role model for sexuality, because she got to be androgynous and cool, but very beautiful, and got the girl. I remember there being a rumor about a couple of the popular girls having made out. And I remember this excited me. I was like, girls can make out with each other. I was so excited, I couldn't wait. We knew adults who were gay. It wasn't completely groundbreaking to us that someone would be gay, but to be a teenager and be gay, well, we didn't really know any. I was in a very shut down place until about 9th grade. And that was when I started having my first relationship with a girl. And then it was like different universe. Sarah really was so more ahead than I was. She got to her feelings of gayness quicker than I did. I sort of had suspicions that something was going on and that Sarah was having a relationship with a girl. I remember breaking into her room and she like wrote in this journal and like finding it and us like beating the crap out of each other. It wasn't us fighting because I was upset she was gay. It was just feeling such intense happiness that this was an option, you know, but also intense fear that someone would find out. Also this incredible loss. This was like my sister and my best friend. And all of a sudden I wasn't a part of that. There is this twin thing where it's like, you don't want to be the same. I didn't want to be like, well, I'm gay too, and have everyone be like, you're just saying that because she's your twin. So there was a part of me that kind of had to shelve my feelings for a while. I had a girlfriend who was spending all her time at my place. My mother started to ask questions and finally just was like, are you dating this person? And I said, yes. I was really surprised by her reaction. She was really disappointed, incredibly uncomfortable, didn't want my girlfriend over anymore. I mean, we had heated arguments. You know, she really struggled. Sarah took the first, blast. And that affects you as a gay person who's supposed to be your biggest ally doesn't necessarily jump on board right away. It was really hard. She really became a phenomenal ally and a wonderful woman and has been endlessly supportive since then. And not just for us, but for many teenagers and for friends and people in her community. But at the time, my mom was about to send her children off into the world as gay adults. And I think that she just freaked out. Truthfully, That was one of the more potent times for me musically. I just drove everything I had emotionally into what was then a hobby, but really was obviously just about to become my profession. I think as we got deeper into our 20s, we started to see the opportunity. Everything was sort of coming together for us in our 20s where we realized, wow, now we can be both a pop band and we can be a political band. We were like, okay, like, let's get behind the big guns here. Like, let's make some change. Like, I want to see this stuff before I'm dead. I don't think our music is eradicating ignorance and homophobia or sexism. I think it's just helping people come a little bit further, you know, over the line to understanding. I choose to be a visible minority every day. I come out every day. I actively look for ways now to talk about who I am because I want to live as openly as I can, but I also want to inspire those who living and being themselves is a tremendous effort and takes a tremendous amount of courage.
Can you come a little closer?
I hope our next generations aren't going to struggle the way that we have over when and how and who to come out to. You're in a spot where it's going to be dangerous, or your parents are going to cut you off and not pay for your education, or wait until the right time, you know, but don't wait your whole life. Don't wait away your life.